and welcome to Homesteading Not Exactly. A couple days ago, I picked what I think is the very last of my zucchinis out of the garden, and one of them was this massive zuc. And one of my favorite things to do with zucchini is make zucchini bread. And this one weighs 1.5 pounds all by itself, which means I just have to add a little bit more from a smaller zuc that I have over there to make 2 loaves of zucchini bread. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's kind of funny though, I will say I learned something new, and that was, I kept seeing all over, because obviously I'm not the only one harvesting zucchinis at this time of year, and a lot of other farmers, homesteaders, gardeners commenting on what to do with massive zucchinis. And I'm like, what do you mean what to do with them? You do the same thing with them you do with all the other zucchinis, right? They're just bigger. Goes to show you what I know about zucchini. Apparently, when zucchinis reach this size, they don't taste the same. And I guess, that makes sense, because there's a lot of other vegetables and stuff that don't taste the same once they get to be a certain size, or even your leafy greens and things like that. Once they flower, for example, they don't taste the same. They go bitter or something. So, but I'm like, why? What is it that changes? So I did some Googling and discovered, I figured I would share with you in case you didn't know, that when they get large like this, they lose moisture, so they're not as moist as they were before. Excuse me, sorry about that. And also the taste just isn't there. Like, they don't have as much flavor as they did when they were smaller. So, that obviously would make a difference in what you would want to use them for. I have what to me is the best zucchini recipe ever. It's delicious, and I've used these massive zucchinis in it before I knew all of this stuff, and it comes out amazing. It's also apparently easier because they have less moisture in them. Part of the process of making your zucchini bread is squeezing all that excess moisture out, and there's not really much to squeeze in these. I've done it, and honestly, I've gotten to the point where I don't really feel like I have to squeeze anything, because there isn't anything that comes out of it. There's another recipe that I just came across yesterday on my Instagram, and it's one I'm going to try the next time I have a really big zucchini, and it's for a mock apple pie, and supposedly tastes just like apple pie. So yeah, I'm going to try that next time around. I don't know that I'll get any more this season. I have one more plant out there that I haven't pulled yet, because it's got like 2 small ones developing on it right now, but I really don't know if they're going to completely develop and grow, because it's so stupid hot here in Central Florida right now. We woke up this morning to a heat advisory of heat index today reaching up to 115 degrees. Not fun. Yeah. Plants aren't liking it very much. Doing my best to keep them watered, but they are drying out very quickly, so I don't anticipate the garden lasting too much longer into the summer. Anyway, we're gonna make this zucchini taste mwah! Come check it out. Alrighty then, before we start mixing anything together, let's get our prep work done. The first thing we're going to do is turn our oven on, which I've already done. I've got it preheating to 375 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and line 2 9x5 loaf pans with parchment paper. I really like this method because it makes it way easier to pull your loaf out of the pan when it's done. Also, nothing's going to stick with that parchment paper in between. And it's super easy, plus there's no mess to clean up when you're done. Next thing we're gonna do is melt some butter. I had accidentally softened the butter before making
getting this ready, and so that made it just a little bit tricky getting it out of the wrappers because I was trying really hard not to squish it. So, you know, just a little tip there. Not that it's a big deal, but if you want it to be slightly easier, don't soften your butter before you melt it. So once I got it in the bowl, I just pop it in the microwave for a few seconds to get it melted. So once your butter is melted and you get it out of the microwave or your pot, however it is that you choose to melt it down, you just need to set it aside to cool. We do not want to put it hot into our mixture later on. So then we'll just go ahead and get our zucchini ready for shredding. Now that I've thoroughly washed the zucchini, I just need to weigh out how much I need. But before I do that, I'm going to cut the ends off so that it's an accurate reading. And also, just a side note, I will have a link to the full recipe posted in the description of this video so that you can refer to it and print it off if you prefer to have a printed copy. And if you're wondering, you do not have to peel the skins off, and you also do not have to remove any of the seeds. It will be just fine, but that's why you want to make sure that you really scrub it well before you start shredding. Now I took the zucchini and cut it in half, and then I cut each half into 4 pieces so that it would work well with my shredder. So you'll want to cut your pieces according to the shredder that you have. Anyone will work, you just want to make sure that you use the larger holes in your shredder, not the tiny ones. You want larger shreds for this recipe. I'm going to use my KitchenAid food processor because it has a shredding disc and it will make this very quick and easy for me. I'll be done in just about 2 minutes. The KitchenAid food processor is such a handy tool to have. As you will see, one of its many functions makes shredding anything a real breeze. There are 2 different sizes that you can shred at. As with most shredders, you've got large holes and small holes, and it just depends on which side of the disc you're using. It's also really easy to put together, and everything fits nicely in the main bowl for storage. I also want to take a quick minute to apologize for this section of the video. I did not realize that my camera was too low and that you were missing what was going on at the top of the food processor. So I'm really sorry about that. I will get my act together, I promise. And thank you for following along with me as I continue learning all the ins and outs of videoing for YouTube and camera placement and all that good fun stuff. Look, I fixed the camera angle, yay! So shredding all that zucchini literally only took about 2 minutes total, but I went ahead and sped up the process here so that you wouldn't get bored watching. Now you're going to need 2 more bowls, one of them big enough to hold all of your ingredients at the very end. So to this bigger bowl of the 2, you're going to start by adding in your flour first. And to the flour, you're going to add your baking soda, followed by your baking powder, then some ground cinnamon, allspice, and finally some salt. Once you have all your ingredients in the bowl, pull out your whisk and whisk it up to get everything nice and combined in the bowl. Then when you're done, you're just going to set it aside and get your next bowl out for the wet ingredients. Now for the wet ingredients, we're going to start by adding our eggs into the bowl one at a time. And once we have them all in there, all you need to do is give them a light beating with your whisk. You don't want to overbeat them and incorporate too much air, just enough to break the yolks and kind of blend it together with the whites. Now to our egg mixture, we're going to go ahead and add in our sugar. Then some lemon juice. And also some plain yogurt. Let me tell you, this yogurt makes all the difference in the world in this recipe. It makes it so nice and moist. Wait till you taste the difference. And okay guys, don't judge me. This is my kitchen, my rules. I stuck my finger in there. Yes, I do. It's mine, it's for me. I would not do that if it was for somebody else, unless that somebody else was family, then, you know, why not? But this is for personal use, and I was fighting yogurt. And lastly to the mix, we are going to add our melted butter that has been sitting and cooling off. Yeah, and that's it basically for this part. Once you get all of those ingredients in there, you're going to take your whisk and mix it up really well. You want to make sure that everything is fully incorporated, the sugar, the butter, the eggs, everything. Get it nice and smooth. Now comes the fun part where you get to mix everything together. So take your bowl of dry ingredients, go ahead and dump in all of your zucchini shreds. And I want to take a quick minute to mention that this recipe does not require a mixer to mix all of your ingredients. It's that easy. Everything comes together so simple and fast that using just that rubber spatula, you'll be able to get everything done. All right, we're almost there. Last step is to dump in your liquid ingredients and start mixing. I recommend using a wooden spoon for this part because it really helps get everything together really nicely. You want to be gentle with this and thorough. The flour tends to hide sometimes. You think you're done, as you'll see here in a minute or so. That's exactly what happened to me. I was mixing, and it was looking pretty good, and then all of a sudden, poof, there was a pocket of flour that appeared. And I just realized I forgot one thing I wanted to mention earlier when I was shredding the zucchini. This zucchini, remember, because it was so large, did not need to have any of the liquid drained out of it. So please remember that if you are using regular size zucchini, that you will want to squeeze all the liquid out of it as much as possible so that this isn't too runny. And the best way to do that is to just layer some paper towels together, put the zucchini in between, and squeeze your heart out. You can also use a clean tea towel if that's what you would prefer to use. But whatever the method, make sure that you get all of the liquid out, or this will be too runny and will not cook the way it's supposed to. And poof, there's that pocket of flour I was mentioning earlier that was hiding under there. But no big deal. It only took an extra minute or so to blend this all together. The very last ingredient you will want to fold into your batter are your nuts. I used walnuts, but you can use pecans if you want. You could even throw in some cranberries if you like that idea. And me personally, I always put extra nuts in because I love nuts, so I like it nice and crunchy. And now it's time to fill our loaf pans. So all I did here was evenly distribute the batter between the two loaf pans that I have. Once you have filled your pans, the only thing that you want to make sure you do is flatten out the tops of them before putting them in the oven. So here you have it, 2 loaves of zucchini bread ready to go in the oven. We are going to bake these at 375 degrees for approximately 55 minutes. What you're looking for is when you insert a toothpick in the center of your loaf, it comes out with just a couple of crumbs on it. You don't want to keep it in any longer or it might be too dry, and obviously less time would be undercooked. So that's your goal, is to have a toothpick with just a couple of crumbs. Again, it's 375 for approximately 55 minutes. So let's throw these babies in the oven and see what we get.
All right, so that's a wrap on this episode of Homesteading Not Exactly. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new along with me as far as what you can do with extra large zucchinis and how they are different than your normal size zucchinis. Like I said, next time I have some, which probably won't be until the fall season, I'm definitely going to try that mock apple pie, and you can bet that I'll be posting it right here so that you can see how it turns out. Also, if you prefer to have a printed copy of the recipe in this video, make sure to check the description down below and you'll be able to print off your own copy and use whenever you want. Add it to your favorite recipes list and make sure you comment down below how you like it yourself. I would love your feedback on this. Stay tuned, because next on this channel is an entire series on all things strawberries. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. We're going to be making strawberry jam, strawberry syrup, strawberry pie filling, and like stuff, all things strawberries, from the strawberries that I picked way back in April and I threw in my freezer and didn't have time to do anything with until now. And in case you didn't know, strawberries are my absolute favorite fruit in the entire universe. So yeah, come back, check it out. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that bell so that you will be notified every time there is new content posted. Until then, don't forget to learn something new and grow a little too. Bye.